RedNationBlogga back with another video. It's been quite a while. I think the last video I posted was during the Olympics, and that doesn't feel like a month ago. That feels like 2 years ago and stuff. Like it's been so much um, just time that has went by since my last posting. But I'm back, and we have some NBA breaking news, which is my bag. Y'all know that. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the New York Knicks made a trade today, a blockbuster trade, something that I don't think anybody in the NBA community saw coming. I was listening to the Low Post podcast a few days ago, and they were saying that the Knicks were in the market. They were looking for a center. They just lost Isaiah Hartenstein to OKC. Mitchell Robinson, they were saying, will be back at the earliest by December, at the latest January, and they were even saying maybe February because of the injury that he sustained in the playoffs. So they said the Knicks were kind of like surveying the market and stuff. And as I was listening to that podcast, I never thought in a million years that that would mean that they're going to get an all-star or an all-NBA caliber starting center in Karl Anthony Towns. They traded Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns, essentially. Now, I know Dante DiVincenzo was in there. I know that there were picks added, and they traded another guy, I think Daquan Jeffries. Daquan Jeffries. So obviously, though, there are other players involved in the trade, but this is like something that I don't think the NBA world really saw coming. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I like this trade for the New York Knicks. I do, because now you have a floor spacer that will continuously open up the floor for everybody else, and he plays one of the most valuable positions in the NBA. I believe that the five has now become probably the most essential piece in basketball, considering everything that you have to consider, like considering how teams work, considering what contenders in that conference have these versatile bigs that can do all these multiple things. Now the Knicks have one of those guys to go along with OG Anunoby, to go along with Mikal Bridges, to go along with Jalen Brunson. They have a complete squad, and they didn't get rid of Deuce McBride. They didn't even have to involve him in this deal. And I know I'm missing some pieces on the Knicks. There's some pieces on the Knicks why I love the Knicks. I just, right now, whatever, it's early in the morning. I'm drawing blanks on like the ancillary pieces on their team that also fit that unit cohesively. But I love this trade for the New York Knicks. I absolutely love this trade for them. Karl Anthony Towns isn't a guy that's going to demand the ball a lot. He can play off the ball. He's played off the ball a ton in his career, going back to with Zach LaVine, Jimmy Butler, and now with Anthony Edwards. I don't know. I like this trade. And he does, like I said, he doesn't demand the ball in the post. Julius Randle demanded the ball in the post. He was a mid-range guy. He worked out with Carmelo Anthony a lot. That was his bag. That was what he was building his game around. I don't think he fit with this iteration of the New York Knicks team. Now, I'm not going to lie. I would have liked to see it. I would have liked to seen if he could change his game. But I don't think that Julius Randle was ever going to be better than the 34% three-point shooter. And as I said, the Knicks ultimately needed a big man. I don't care how much talent you have on that roster, and the Knicks have a lot. Without a solid big man that can rebound and close possessions and defend the rim and do those types of things, you're not going to get that far. You're just not. So, like I said, I love this deal for the New York Knicks. Absolutely love it. On the flip side, I hate this deal for Minnesota. I don't understand I think I saw somebody tweet that they're trying to get under the second apron, which is, I guess that's an okay move. That's a reason as to why you make this trade, but I don't like this trade for them. Anthony Edwards is not a great three-point shooter. Rudy Gobert doesn't shoot the three. Come on, let's be real. I just said Julius Randle shoots 34% or something like that from three. I don't like this deal for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think this kills their spacing. Now, and what do you do now? Does Naz Reid still have to come off the bench? Does Julius Randle come off the bench? Like, I don't understand what you do now in Minnesota. It's very clunky offensively. To me, this just seems like a clunky fit. And I just think that maybe they're, to a certain degree, scapegoating Karl Anthony Towns and for that playoff performance that he did in the Western Conference Finals, which was not good. I want to say that now. It was not a good playoff performance. But Anthony Edwards wasn't any better in the Western Conference Finals. He wasn't. They both disappeared. They both collapsed at the end of games. They both did that. So I don't want to just kick Karl Anthony Towns back in. Anthony Edwards, you have some explaining to do too, but your sample size is much smaller than Karl Anthony Towns. So I understand. And Minnesota hadn't got back to that point since 2004. So I definitely understand why Minnesota is definitely going all in with Anthony Edwards and moving Karl Anthony Towns out the window. But all in all, I just don't like this trade for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think that this, I don't want to say it puts them in a play-in or anything. Like, they have talent, but I think that once you get to the playoffs, it's like you need everything to like kind of fit, because you can throw talent together on the roster all day, throw talent, but does it fit? You know what I mean? Like, does it resonate, and do all the pieces connect to a big puzzle? And while I do think that there is potential there, I just really don't know how it works in my mind, like basketball wise. I've been trying to piece the pieces of the puzzle together. I've been trying to see like how they could play together, but I don't see it. Especially with Julius Randle's game and Anthony Edwards' game, I just don't see it. This is not 2K. If it was 2K, I would be like, hey, maybe this could work. But it's not, because you're not going to just put Julius Randle in the corner like you did Karl Anthony Towns. He's not going to get that same respect, floor spacing, and he's just not a threat from out there like Karl Anthony Towns. And mentally, he wants the ball in his hands more than the Karl Anthony Towns. So it's just, it doesn't work. Like I said, if we're talking about just straight 2K, I like the deal. But all in all, I don't. I mean, Dante DiVincenzo is a really good role player, and I think that as a role player, he will be phenomenal for wherever he goes, literally wherever he goes. But I just don't get this from Minnesota, to be honest. But I guess they felt like they had to do something, because you don't want to just come into the next season with the same team. And obviously, you probably would have taken a step back because the West has gotten better. But I don't think that this was the move. I don't think that this was the move at all. But that's all I got, man. Today is my birthday, so like and subscribe, please. Comment, do everything to just push my video forward, push the platform forward. Sorry that the streets been dry, y'all. As y'all can see, I'm in a new location. I moved, so hey, it is what it is, man. I'm happy to be here. As always, RedNationBlogga out.